Go. Let me stop being silly. Guys, how are you? Nana Konamah here. And this next video is something very special to my heart. I sat down with my friend, Jessica Nabongo. You might know her on Instagram as the Catch Me If You Can, to talk about the 3 top ways to build confidence. Now, Jessica also said on a recent panel that ambition is cool, but confidence is much more important. So you think about your wildest dreams, your largest ambitions, your biggest ambitions, and confidence is the key to get you there. So watch it, me, Jessica Nabongo, speaking on confidence. Enjoy. Oh my gosh. This is such a, I've been watching your journey for so long now, and I'm just so excited for like where this is taking you, taking us, taking all of this. So thank you for being here.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. You know, from the moment I met you, I was like, this one. I love everything you're doing with your platform, and seriously, like I'm obsessed with it. I'm like, we need to get you more followers because the information you're giving, everyone needs to hear it. So I'm just happy to be here.
Thank you so much. That was needed and timely. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we get to have this moment. Mm-hmm. I think that like as women who have very similar backgrounds, like I feel like we're in an age, it's like a renaissance. It's like the age of Michelle Obama and like Ava DuVernay and like Black Girl Magic. And it's like, what a time to be alive. So I'm glad we get to share it
to be alive
together.
Yeah.
But speaking on that, you know, I wanted us to get together to talk a little bit about, you know, you and I are both being either by choice or by like the nudging of like other people around us or just like the universe. We're finding ourselves in a lot of spaces that are pushing us to take on a new posture, which from someone coming from me, I've dealt with imposter syndrome and still deal with imposter syndrome. You know, people do ask, well, how are you able to be so confident and confidently walk through some of these doors? And I'm like, am I confident? You know, like I just kind of feel like, you know, so like, what is your journey into confidence?
Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, honestly, I think my parents did a great job. Shout out mom and dad. Thanks for everything. Honestly, I think my parents did a really great job of like giving us space and helping us believe like literally the world was our oyster, whether it's like my decision to visit every country in the world or leadership positions that I've taken on at different points in my life. I really feel like my parents made me believe as a child that there is no ceiling. You know what I mean? So like when I was in predominantly white schools from the age of 3 to 12, you know, there's a picture of me in kindergarten, like leading a bike ride, you know? I was the only Black girl in my class, but my little Black self was at the beginning of the line leading everyone else. And so, you know, I had that. Unfortunately, when I switched from private schools to public schools, and so I was going to private schools in like the suburbs of Detroit, and then I switched to Detroit public schools, and it was hard.
The transition.
Those middle school kids were not nice. And
I've never met anybody who's had a junior high experience that they look back on with like adoration. Like with joy and adoration. I hated middle school. I hated junior high. Like, oh God.
And you know, and that's when like boys, you know, like boys and girls or boys and boys
I had an awkward
girls.
stage too.
Yeah.
I was really tall for my age, and it was just I didn't know what to do with it, and I was kind of like.
And I think,
wobbly.
you know, the skin tone thing and people making fun of me because of my skin tone, people making fun of me because of my voice. So that's where that confidence that had built up in my childhood disappeared.
Oh, wow.
You know, because I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel worthy in many ways. And I suffered through depression in high school and college. and after college, into my late 20s. Anyway, but I do recall somewhere in my 20s where I just decided, you know, I had been so depressed, and I just decided, like, this is me. This is all I have. I'm not about to get plastic surgery. I'm not about to do and so many things take effort. Weave takes effort. All of those things take effort. You know what I mean? And so makeup takes effort. I beat my face for y'all. Okay. And for me, I remember, so I was moving to Japan. And I was like, nobody's gonna know how to do my black hair, and I don't know how to do my black hair. So I shaved my head. This was in 2008, and people were like, what? This was before Solange shaved her head, and before it was like a thing. And I did it because practical, right? My little type A self was like, I can't do my hair, and nobody can do my hair. Boop, it's gone. And I think for me, once I was like, okay, like I did that, I became even more confident because I was like, this is all I got. And I used to wear really big earrings all the time because I was like trying to, you know, give myself a little accoutrement. And then I even stopped doing that. And so oftentimes if you see me on social, I'm never wearing makeup, but I'll give you a pop of color on my lips. My hair is always like this. And I usually don't wear earrings because for me, I'm like, this is all I have for you. And I think once we as people can accept, like, this is who I am in my rawest form, that has to be enough. You know, it's not a thing of, is it enough? It has to be enough because this is all I have. So for me, it's enough. If it's not enough for you, bye. And that's really what it was for me. I had to make the decision of, do I want to be depressed because of what other people think about me and like be down in this deep, dark hole? Or do I just say, look, this is all I got. This is who I am. You either love it or hate it. That's it.
Another strange truth about life is that we are constantly being told to like focus on our weaknesses. And nobody tells us to play up our strengths. I mean, they do, but I feel like there's so much focus on, well, what are you not good at? Get better at that.
Right.
And I just feel like if more people were told that there is value in what they like to do and what they're good at, and we were taught to stand confidently with what we brought to the table. For instance, I never really got in trouble much for things that I did. I got in trouble for things I would say. My parents were always saying, why do you talk so much and have so much to say about, why so many questions? And I think that, you know, for a child like me who had very strong linguistic skills from such a young age, a lot of times, especially in African sort of cultures, the idea is that children must be seen and not heard. But imagine if I knew about the power of my voice early, rather than being told to sort of like minimize my voice. Imagine if I was told that like, oh, this one, she talks a lot because that's her gift, that's her ministry. Right? We're always being told to sort of work on what we view as weaknesses, but nobody's telling us to play up our strengths,
for sure.
accept our strengths.
For sure.
And I just wish that more people are told that the thing that people say you're weak for is actually your strength. Imagine how many more people will be confident. So I imagine that's a process you've also had to sort of go through.
Yeah, I mean, a weakness some may say that I have is I'm too blunt. And
you are truthful.
Right. But most people want the truth like wrapped up in these pillows, you know, like they want the truth to come to them in a nice little pillow or a feather sandwich. And I don't have it for you because I have a very limited amount of time. So I want to give you this truth, but I don't have time to like put it in bubble wrap. And so I get a lot of criticism for that. People are like, oh, maybe some people can consider it rude, but people say like I'm harsh and like I'm too blunt, right? And I've been like that my whole life. And now, you know, again, it's either you hate it or love it because I'm too old to adjust at this point. So like that's just what it is. And I think there's a lot of value in it because when I meet people, you know, you get what's right in front of you. You never have to guess how I feel about anything. No matter who you are that I'm meeting, You will never have to second guess. Is Jessica giving us her honest opinion? Because you know I am. And I think there is value in that. But some people will say, oh, well, sometimes you need to not come off so strong, or you need to put it this way to make it go down easier. I don't.
So if you had to package confidence getting, confidence keeping, confidence setting into a 3-step.
Oh, okay.
Foolproof Jessica Nabongo.
Ooh, okay.
Catch me if you can approve 3-step process to being more confident.
Okay.
What would you put it down to?
I think number 1 is
Uno.
Number 1 is definitely, if whether you believe in God or Allah or Jehovah or Buddha or the universe, whomever it is, if you truly are a believer, number 1 is accepting that they made you this unique way for a reason. Right. That is the first step. Go sit in a corner and talk to your higher power and give gratitude for them making you this way. Because the thing is, the planet has 7 billion people, right? That's 7 billion people living completely different lives. And we rob ourselves of so much joy because we're comparing what we know about our lives to what we don't know about yours. That was Rob Bell from his book, How to Be Here. But that's really what it is. So there's so much wisdom in the fact that we're all living unique lives. So whether it's a homeless person on the street or Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, we all have value. So we need to go to our higher power and give thanks and gratitude for the fact that they created us uniquely as we are. So that's the first thing. We're being grateful for being unique and being who we are. I think that's step 1. I think step 2 is reading the 4 Agreements.
I have that book. I haven't started it, but
I love it. It's a quick read. And I think
by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yes, yeah. And I think for me, one of the most important agreements is don't take anything personally. Yeah. And the reason I think that's important is that you have to understand the way people react to you and how people criticize you and how people feel about you is based on their own life experiences. Yeah. So don't take anything personal. If someone yells at you or says you're ugly or you're this, you're that, that has to do with them. It doesn't have anything to do with you. So that is the second step. Read the 4 Agreements and remember, don't take anything personally. Okay, that's number 2. Let's see, number 3. Number 3 is then just stand in it. Stand in who you are. And I think a lot of the work for number 3 will come from, okay, we're all on, most of us are on social media. We're getting these inputs all the time. The cool thing about social media, and I love Instagram, obviously. And I think the best thing about it is that you select what your feed looks like. Yeah. So if there's something on your feed that makes you feel jealousy is not a good emotion. Inspiration is a good emotion, but jealousy is not. So if you're scrolling your feed every morning and you feel jealous on the inside, like, ugh, why can't my life be like that? And you start lamenting, unfollow. Even if it's your friend, even if it's your favorite influencer, unfollow them. If they're giving you any sort of negative emotion, you want to follow people. So when you wake up and you're scrolling your Instagram, you want to follow someone, you're like, oh my God, yes, I can be her because she's accessible. And I know that I can live my life in that way. And make sure you're getting those right inputs and then stand in it. And sometimes we need that external help, right? And so if we see someone who we are inspired by, not jealous of, not envious of, but someone who we're inspired by, then I think that helps you to stand in it. So, number 1, gratitude for being who you are, gratitude to your creator, whomever that is for you, and accepting who you are. Number 2, read the 4 Agreements and do not take anything personally. And then number 3 is definitely stand in it.
Well, we're all going to be doing that. We're going to be showing gratitude to whoever our higher power is for creating us, and we're here now experiencing 7 billion unique experiences. 2, go get your copy of the 4 Agreements with Miguel Ruiz.
Yeah, Don Miguel
I believe
Ruiz.
It is.
Yeah.
I hope it is.
Yeah, right. And don't take it.
I have a copy, I just haven't read it.
Yeah.
And don't take anything personally. And thirdly,
stand in it.
Stand in it. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thirdly, stand in it. So this has been Jessica Nabongo, the Catch Me If You Can, and me, Nana Konamah. bringing you letters from like, you know, the forefront of this journey towards authenticity. So thank you, Jessica. It's always so good when I see you.
I know.
Connect with you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We are here.
We're friends.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
it's here. Thank you.